welcome back to our Let's Talk Asia series. I'm joined by Cameron Gordon from Incite, which is an export development agency. We've been looking at different markets within Southeast Asia, and today we're going to head to the Philippines, which sounds like a pretty dynamic market for Australian companies, Cameron.
Yeah, indeed. It certainly is. Thanks for having me, Kim. Looking forward to drilling down on some of the challenges and opportunities, I think, in the Philippines for Australian food and beverage brands.
This market is big, if in no other way except for its population. I had no idea the size of population of the Philippines.
Yeah, look, it's from a population perspective, it's significant. 113 million people spread across 7,500 islands. It's a big market. When you look at where it fits within the ASEAN region from a size perspective, Indonesia has 270 million people. We'll talk about Indonesia on the next episode. Singapore, on the other hand, has 5 million people. So that doesn't mean that the Philippines opportunity is X times the Singapore opportunity because of population.
No,
but it definitely is a large market for sure.
Well, I mean, that really plays to the fact that different markets, but exactly, a Singapore market at 5 million is so different from a Philippines market that's 113 million. And I mean, that just applies across the board, doesn't it? So tell me, what are some of the unique characteristics of the market in the Philippines?
Okay, sure. So the Philippines, I think, is really unlike any other ASEAN market in that it has quite a significant American influence. Whereas let's say Singapore, Malaysia, for example, has a strong British heritage, obviously because of the history there. The Philippines has a long-term affinity with America because of the military support and the like. So whereas markets like Singapore, Malaysia, even Indonesia, Thailand, have that long history and appreciation of Australia and New Zealand products from within the Pacific. If you look at supermarkets in the Philippines, you'll see a lot more American product, you see a lot more European product. So, there's quite a bit of a difference there. In terms of that affects the taste and preferences, obviously, of Filipino consumers. If they're watching more Americanized content on TV and through digital channels, obviously that's going to affect how they go about their day in terms of their shopping preferences and the like. So I think that is something to be aware of. Another factor at play in the Philippines is that you've seen a real emergence of let's say premium hotspots across the Metro Manila area over the last 10-15 years. When we first started going to the Philippines, say 12 years ago, there were some nice areas that typically had nice grocery experiences and the like, such as Greenbelt, which is a large area with nice supermarket and nice shopping environment and the like. Over the last 10 years, you've seen 2 or 3 more of those areas kind of jumping up. So every time a new area jumps up, you've got good experiences from a shopping perspective, good experience from a grocery shopping experience. And obviously, because of the real estate attached to those things, you've got more premium consumers coming to live in the area, so it really cascades, new consumers, new purchasing habits, better shopping experiences and the like. So there's some really good stuff happening there. And obviously, another major consideration for the Philippines as well is digital consumption. Obviously, as marketing, modes of marketing have increasingly gone more digital, and given the average Filipino, I think it's something like 11 hours of digital consumption per day.
It's quite a unique market. It's quite a staggering sort of market, isn't it? It stands out from pretty much other countries within the region.
The Filipinos are I believe the highest consumers of digital media in the world, per capita. And when you look at, the ways of consumption, the ways of marketing consumption and the like. Obviously, there's a real opportunity for brand there, for stretch on brand. If you've got a good product at a good price in the market with a brand that can, be stretched to be used through those mediums, there's a real opportunity for storytelling, through those mediums as well.
It's something, I mean, we have touched on it with the other countries, but the notion of, I mean, this is a big market, and how you differentiate your product. Obviously, if you had a strong branding and a strong marketing campaign, that could really make such a difference.
Absolutely. Look, the key is obviously localization, right? So it's not taking your Australian branding and marketing strategy and rolling it into the Philippines. It's more about looking at what resonates with the local consumers in terms of, personalities, in terms of content and the like, and competitions even, and seeing what happens there. While it is a big market, obviously, from a per capita income perspective, it is growing, but it's growing off a smaller base. So, there is that consideration. So it is still very much about being as targeted as possible.
What are strong categories for people exporting into the Philippines? Is there a category where we really hold our own off compared to others?
Yeah, look, I think dairy is an obvious one. With the efficiencies.
I did not think that was going to be the answer.
I know. I think there's a number of reasons.
There's
a number of reasons. Obviously, there's improvements in supply chain and cold chain, which makes life a bit easier. There's the customs procedures are getting better and more efficient, which means that you can move chilled goods through more quickly. You've got growing middle class income. You've got better stores, which means better fridges, which can, so you can carry better, more temperature sensitive products. And also, you don't have a strong dairy industry in the Philippines as well, relative to somewhere like Indonesia, which has quite a strong dairy category and, local dairy category. The Philippines, dairy category, it's there in some parts, but it's it requires, importation of dairy products. And when you couple all those things together, even though Australian, dairy products are globally probably mid to premium, relevant, relatively, there is, and you got that population, 114 million people or whatever. When you slice and dice that number, you do have a market there for premium Australian dairy.
And when you talk dairy, are we talking almost just commodity in terms of milk, or are you talking other products like ice cream and yogurt?
I'm talking ice. I'm talking ice creams, yogurts, natural cheeses that are selling in Coles and Woolies in Australia.
You learn something every day.
That would be one example. We're also seeing emerging trends in health, functional beverages, plant-based milks, plant-based meats and the like as well. So, whatever's, because of that digital consumption, the Philippines,
that's right,
they're following global trends to some degree.
Yeah. A fascinating country, fascinating market. Thanks once again for all of your insights. And let's, dear viewer, stay tuned for another episode, or have a look at the ones that are already online and discover the opportunities that exist in Southeast Asia.